end, and perennial plants serve no purpose. So keep in mind, the end of the world is still coming. So we can't do plants that are going to last too long. We got to get plants that are going to get in.
Right, because that would make no sense.
Yeah, you can't.
That would be crazy.
You only need to feed your body for enough time for it to last.
It's so fucking frustrating how close this is to like an actual humanitarian effort, you know, like being like, dude, buy into this cooperative, like commune, do this work.
Do you know much about like Jonestown prior to its like massacre? It's the same thing. The People's Temple early in its years was a community focused like group of people that eventually just became
it's like the communism thing of like you write it down, it sounds great, and then slowly humanity corrupts, power corrupts.
It's nuts. They also, on top of their food, manufactured their own bricks to expand housing and chopped firewood for their own use and for additional income. And to garner even more income for the movement, they set up a chain of groceries in some trading centers in the region. These sold products cultivated by members of the movement and included tomatoes, avocados, pineapples, sugarcane, a popular local vegetable known as the dodo, and handicrafts such as baskets, floor mats, and table mats. Due to constant pressure from non-member family members, the movement opened a school within the compound itself. So as they got bigger, because kids were popping up, they ended up opening a school within their own compound. The school, of course, followed a similar structure to other schools in the area so they could be seen as legitimate, with subjects such as mathematics, English, science, and social studies, with a special attention paid to the 10 Commandments. There were repeated allegations, however, but we don't know. I'm going to assume it actually happened. But there were repeated allegations of abuse at the school, such as a report that Credonia punished disobedient children by repeatedly kicking them until they were obedient. So just get them on the ground and just boot into stomach, rib, legs, just kick them. On paper, the school actually closed in 1998, 2 years before the cult met its doom. There were actually reports of it operating well into 1999. Of course, with any cult, through the day-to-day tortures and pressures, this is where the abuse comes in. There was physical, mental abuse throughout the cult, but again, what we have to work with is kind of post evidence after the cult kind of fell apart. There were other rumors of incidents of pregnancies and births, and that babies born in the centers did not live long. But the cause of the infants' deaths remain a mystery. To those who were even there, don't even know. We do know, however, that babies and having children was heavily frowned upon. And having any sort of relationship like that with somebody else would cause weakness within the cult. Marriages were also not allowed, to hammer home that point. And those who were married prior to joining the movement were not permitted to have sex. They were told to wait until the formation of the new world to engage in intimate relationships for fear of bringing in tainted generation.
What was the date for the apocalypse?
The first one was 1992. The next one would be 98. I have it written down later. And then the final one was the year 2000. They had 3 separate doom dates that ended up happening over the course of time.
That is, how do you fuck
again, that? Yeah. This is, again, like Alex was saying, I don't know that you could ever get, like, the whole point of most religion is like, hey, if you join, here's all the awesome things you can get. And in the end, you're going to heaven, baby. And this is like, don't do anything. The world's going to end. And then you like, that's it. It's very like medieval religion.
It is,
where it's like,
super
look,
medieval.
Your life sucks, and we know your life sucks. And here's the thing: sure, you're a serf, and you may live to 25, but when you die, let me tell you, there's a better place, friend. Now ignore that the lords and ladies of the land live in that castle over there, and they are literally living off of your hard work. Ignore that, because in the end, let me tell you. Heaven awaits, buddy.
They need to talk.
Heaven awaits. So get back out there.
I'm going to do the cult of the guy from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That guy who's like, I didn't vote for you. Like, I feel like that guy needs to get it. Everybody needs to internalize that guy completely.
I agree. I would join that cult.
But like, I understand how if you are in a part of the world that the rest of the world purposely ignores. You are suffering from, a disease that during that time period, especially in that part of the world, no one's trying to solve.
I would be willing
People
to
are
reject that
dying.
reality. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can understand how you'd be like, oh my God, this will help me. And it gives you some comfort that even if I'm not cured now, at least I'm going to heaven. It's the exact same thing. It's like, sure, I get up every day, and sure, I've had 8 kids and 6 have died. And sure, like my job is I literally farm a field for a guy who treats me like a pack animal. And sure, like I can understand it's very similar to sort of medieval ages and why religion blew up during that time period. Because honestly, life for the vast majority of people sucked ass.
Yes,
and so
it did.
I understand. But again, the people in charge, people running this thing, I know that at some point, I'm going to say 1991 or whatever the first like fake ass
92.
end of the world